Hello students and a very good morning to you. Students, as we are studying chapter 15th of class 7 science, that is light, and this is the third and last part of this chapter. In previous parts of this chapter we have studied about light, rectilinear propagation of light, reflection. Then we have studied about plane mirror and how image is formed by a plane mirror. Then we have studied about spherical mirrors, in which we have studied about concave and convex mirrors and how image is formed by these mirrors and what are their uses. So in this part we will be studying about lenses, in which we will study about convex lens and concave lens. We will study about their uses, and at last we will study about dispersion of light. So here we will start with lenses. As in previous part we have studied about mirrors. So in mirrors we have studied that a piece of glass which is painted from one side and other side will be reflecting surface, and the surface which can reflect the rays of light is called mirror. So here we will study about lenses, and lenses are not painted from any side. So lens is a piece of transparent material having one or two spherical surfaces. So this transparent material, it may be plastic or glass, both. So lens is a piece of transparent material having one or two spherical surfaces. As you can see, this lens, it has two spherical surfaces. This is the first one and this is the second one. In this lens also you can see this is the first spherical surface and this is the second spherical surface. So both lenses, they have two spherical surfaces. In this one and in this one you can see one surface is plane surface and second one is spherical surface. Here also you can see this one is a plane surface and this one is the spherical surfaces, and these two are the transparent materials. So lens is a piece of transparent material having one or two spherical surfaces. Now in mirrors we have studied that when light rays fall on the reflecting surfaces, smooth shiny polished surfaces, then light rays, they bounce back in the same medium by changing their direction, and that process is called reflection. But in the case of lenses, just in contrary to mirrors, the light rays, they pass through the spherical surfaces of lens and change their direction and bend from their original path. So the phenomena of change in direction or bending of the light from their path in another medium is called refraction of light. Means the change of path of the light rays by the surface of the lens in another medium is called refraction of light. So in case of mirrors we have studied about reflection of light, where when light rays fall on the smooth shiny surfaces of mirror, they reflected back, they bounced back, but they're not going in another medium, because in case of mirrors, that mirror is not a transparent material. That is why light cannot pass from one medium to another medium. But in case of lenses, we can see lenses are the transparent material. So when light rays will fall on the lenses, very easily they can pass from one side to another side. Means they can pass from one medium to another medium. But when they pass from one medium to another medium, means in simple language we can say when they pass from one side to another side, they change their direction. So the phenomena of the change in the direction or the bending of light from their path in another medium is called refraction of light. Means when light rays fall on the surfaces, spherical surfaces of the lenses, they change their path in another medium. So when they change their path in another medium, they change their direction, This process is called refraction of light. So, refraction of light, this process you will study in higher classes in detail. Now, the lenses, they are of two types, convex lens and concave lens. So, convex lens is also called as conversing lens, and concave lens is also called as diverging lens. Now students, our first type of lens is convex lens. So the lens which is thicker in the middle, then at the edges, that lens is called convex lens. So here we can see in this diagram, this lens is thicker at the middle and it is thinner at the edges. So the lens which is thicker in the middle and thinner at the edges, this type of lens is called convex lens. This convex lens is a conversing lens. Why this lens is called conversing lens? That we will study later on. And there are three types of convex lenses, that is double convex lens or biconvex lens, plano convex lens and concavo convex lens. So here you can see this lens this lens is double convex lens because it's both surfaces, it is convex surface, so this lens is double convex lens, or it is called as biconvex lens also. This is the plano convex lens. One surface is plane and one surface is convex surface. So this lens is called plano convex lens. And here you can see this lens is having two type of surfaces. First one is convex surface and next one is concave surface. So this type of lens is called concavo convex lens. Now a human eyes also, it also consists of a convex lens, and this lens system forms an image on retina. So retina is a light sensitive screen. So when our eyes get the reflected light, that light focus the image on the retina. So our eyes also act as convex lens. Now convex lens is a conversing lens. Why this conversing lens? As we have studied about the parallel beam of light, so you can see when a parallel beam of light it falls on the convex lens, and when it passes through the convex lens, then this parallel beam of light rays, they converges at one point. So here you can see this is the parallel beam of light. These light rays, they are parallel to each other. When they fall on the convex lens, when they fall on the surface of the convex lens, then obviously the process of refraction takes place. Means when light rays fall on the surface of convex lens, it will pass from one medium to another medium by changing its direction. So these are the parallel beam of light. When they are falling on the convex lens, after passing through it, means after the process of refraction, these beam of light, parallel light, they converges at a point. So here you can see they are meeting at one point. They are conversing at one point. So these are the, you can see these are the conversing light rays. So these light rays, they are conversing or they are meeting at point, and this point is called focus of convex lens. And the distance between the focus and the center of the convex lens, suppose this is the center of the convex lens, so the distance between the center of the convex lens and this focus, this distance is called focal length, which is denoted by small f. So convex lens, it converges the light rays falling on it. That is why this convex lens is called conversing lens. As in the case of mirrors, we have studied that convex mirror is diverging mirror, but in case of lenses, convex lens is a conversing lens. Now, one activity is given to study the nature and size of the image formed by a convex lens by changing the position of the object. So here Materials that we require are convex lens, lens stand, lighted candle, cardboard and white paper sheet. So what we have to do, we have to take a convex lens and we have to fix it on a lens stand. Then we have to place a lighted candle on the right side of the lens at a distance of about 60 centimeter, as you can see in the diagram. And on the left hand side of the lens we have to place a white paper sheet fixed on a piece of cardboard. Now we have to move the screen forward and backward until a sharp image of the candle is obtained. So here you can see a sharp image of candle is obtained. Now we will change the position of the candle by placing it at different distances. Now first of all we will place it about 50 centimeter, and again we will move the screen forward and backward until we obtain the image of the candle, and we will note the changes of the size of the image. Now we will repeat it at least 2 times. Now we will observe that the candle is moved as the candle is moved towards the lens, the size of the image becomes larger and larger, means it is getting larger and larger. And a stage comes when the size of the image is equals to the size of the candle. So if the candle is moved further from this point, then the size of the image becomes highly magnified. Highly magnified means become too large. So these are the images formed by convex lens. Now uses of convex lens. Convex lens is used in making the lenses of spectacles, telescope, microscope, magnifying glasses, etc. Convex lens is also used as a camera lens in camera, as they focus light for a clear picture. And convex lens is used in hypermetropia, and convex lens is also used in eyeglasses. Now next type of lens is concave lens. So the lens which is thinner at the center than the edges is called a concave lens. So it is just opposite to the convex lens. In convex lens we have studied that lens is thicker at the middle and thinner at the edges, but here we can see this lens is thinner in the middle and thicker at the edges. So the lens which is thinner in the middle and thicker at the edges, such type of lens is called concave lens. This concave lens is a diverging lens, and there are three types of concave lenses: double concave lens, or we can say biconcave lens, plano concave lens, and convexo concave lens. So here you can see this is the first one. This is the double concave lens. Double concave lens because its both surface is spherical surface, means both surfaces of this lens are concave surfaces. So this type of lens is called double concave lens. Now next one, this is the plano concave lens. Plano concave lens because one surface is plane and one surface is concave surface. And this is the convexo concave. Convexo concave lens means this first one is the convex surface and next one is the concave surface. So when in the lens one surface is convex surface and another one is the concave surface, so this type of lens is called convexo concave lens. Now concave lens is a diverging lens. So here also you can see these are the parallel beam of light which are falling on the concave lens. So when a beam of parallel rays of light, it falls on a concave lens, so when it passes through the lens, means after the process of refraction, the light rays are diverging or spreading out. So here you can see these are the parallel beam of light. They are falling on the surface of concave lens, and after passing through the lens they are spreading out. They are going away from each other. Okay, so they are spreading out. That is why this is diverging lens. and these refracted rays, when they refracted from the concave lens, they will not meet at in the another medium. So the point from where they are appear to be coming, that point is called focus. So here you can see this is the point from where these refracted rays they are appear to be coming. So this point is called focus of the concave lens. And the distance between the focus, so this is the focus and the center of the concave lens. So here will be center of the concave lens. So the distance between the focus and the center of the concave lens, this distance, this length is called focal length, which is denoted by a small f. So concave lens, it diverges the parallel beam of light when light rays fall on it and when light rays passing through it. So it is diverging, it is splitting out that light rays. That is why concave lens is called a diverging lens. Now, uses of concave lens. So concave lens is used in making spectacles as for the treatment of myopia. It is used in flashlight to widen the beam of light produced by the bulb, because it is a diverging lens, so it spread the light. Then it is used in making lenses of telescope to give sharp image. It is used in cameras to focus on a single subject, and it is also used in peepholes in the doors of hotel rooms, just to see the image of the person who is standing outside of the room. Now our next topic is dispersion of light. So in year 1665, Sir Isaac Newton discovered by his experiment with glass prism that white light, which is basically a sunlight, is used. So that white light consists of a mixture of 7 colors. So when a beam of light is passed through a glass prism, then the white light splits to form a band of 7 colors on a white screen. So the band of 7 colors formed on a white screen when a beam of light, a white light is passed through a glass prism, and this is called spectrum of white light. Okay, so the band of 7 colors which is formed, it is called a spectrum of white light. So when a beam of light, suppose here you can see this white light A B. This is the white light. So when this beam of white light AB is passed through a glass prism you can see PQR. This is a glass prism. So when this beam of light AB is passed into the glass prism, this beam of light splits when it enters to the glass prism, and it form a broad patch of 7 colors. This is the spectrum. It is forming the broad patch of 7 colors, that is a spectrum on a white screen. This is a white screen. So this splitting of white light, when the white light gets splitted into 7 colors through when it passes through a transparent medium as glass prism. So this process is called dispersion of light. Okay, so when white light passes through the prism, it split it into 7 colors. So these 7 colors are vibgeo, that is violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. So this is the 7 colors. When white light split it when passing through glass prism, then it form a wide spectrum of 7 colors, and this process is called dispersion of light. Now next thing, rainbow. So we all know that one of the most beautiful example of spectrums formed by the dispersion, means the splitting of sunlight, is the rainbow, which is provided by nature to us. So the rainbow is an arc of 7 colors which is seen in the sky. We all know that in Hindi it is called as Indradhanush. So the 7 colored rainbow is formed in sky after just after the rain, when the sun is shining. In that time we can see, sometime we can see the rainbow in the sky. So the rainbow is produced by the dispersion of sunlight by tiny raindrops suspended in the atmosphere. So, just after rain, there are a large number of small water droplets which are suspended in the atmosphere, and each of these water droplets, they act like small prism. So what happened, as a white sunlight, it enters in the tiny water droplets, and it leaves, it means it is coming out from these water droplets. Then the various colored, means that seven colored rays of sunlight, they are deviated in different amounts, and a long arc of seven colors, that is rainbow, is formed in the sky. So the seven colors which are present in the rainbow, we all know they are vibgyor, means violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. But in that time when we see the rainbow, we cannot easily distinguish all the colors, because in all that colors, they overlap one another. So at that time, these seven colors, they are not so clearly visible to us. So the formation of rainbow having seven colors, it shows that white sunlight consists of seven colors. Now, when activity is there, in the case of rainbow, or when we see the example of prism, at that time we can say that yes, white light is made up of seven colors. Now, in this activity, we will see that mixing of that seven colors will make white light. Okay, so this experiment is done by using Newton's color disk. So for this activity, we need cardboard, crayon colors of these seven colors, that is Vibgyor, an empty long refill of a ball pen, and what we have to do, we have to take a circular cardboard disk of about 15 centimeter diameter. Then we have to divide the face of that disk into seven equal segments, as you can see in the diagram. Now we have to color these segments in the order of Vibgyor, that is violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. And we have to make a small hole at the center of the disc, and we have to fix the disc on the tip of the riffle very loosely. Now the disc, when we fix it with the riffle, it should rotate freely around the riffle. And when we rotate the disc quickly in the daylight, then we will observe that disc appears white. So when these seven colored disc is rotated very quickly, when it is rotated very fast, then we will see that it appears white. So this activity shows that the white light is made up of seven colors, or these seven colors, when they mix together, they make white light. So this disc, that disc we made, this disc is called Newton's color disc. So here your chapter 15 light is completed. So it will be better first to read the chapter and then watch the video. It will be better for you, and try to find out the answers of the question given your in your exercise. Thank you, students.